Argentina has long been known for its grass-fed beef industry. Today, however, most cattle in the country are finished in feedlots rather than in the grassy flatlands of the Pampas region. As more farmers opt to grow crops such as corn and soybeans, fewer grasslands are available for grazing. This week, Curtis Harms shows you one example of a feedlot we visited during our trip to Argentina in mid-January.
Just about halfway in between Argentina's third largest city, Rosario, and the country's capital, Buenos Aires, lies ProtecoFeedlot. The feedlot began in 1996 on nearly 173 acres of land and had the initial capacity to hold 6,000 head of cattle. Today, the feedlot has expanded to nearly 350 acres and can hold up to 15,000 head of cattle. Proteco is considered to be one of the top 10 largest feedlots in Argentina. Juanjo Mataldi is a manager with ProtecoFeedlot. He says there are several cattle owners who contract with the feedlot.
There are a big diversity of owners, of cattle owners. Today, currently, they have about 15 different clients. You have cow-calf operations, you have slaughter plants, supermercados. There's some professionals of the town, dentists or doctors or whatever, who want to invest and buy their cattle and put them here.
The feedlot feeds young calves starting at 77 pounds. The calves shown here have been at the feedlot for approximately 20 days and each weigh roughly 165 pounds. Heifers and steers usually come to the feedlot weighing from 375 to 440 pounds. All of the new cattle go through an adaptation period when they first arrive and receive fiber-based rations for the first 15 to 20 days.
When they come in, the first 7 days is a ration that has a pretty high content of grass, forage. The following 7 days, they go taking out the content of forage and they leave just a little bit. And from then on, they take out completely the forage and they're on the termination nutrition diet, let's say. 34% gluten feed, 20% wet distillers grains. Fiber, that is primarily corn husk, is 10-12%. Then broken corn kernels.
Like in fed beef cattle in the United States, corn is one of the largest expenses in the Argentine cattle diet. During the summer months in Argentina, which is around December through March, cattle are fed 30% of their daily ration at 6 a.m., and then the remaining 70% after 4 p.m. Due to genetics and feed rations, cattle will gain around 2.2 to 3.3 pounds per day and remain at the facility for 100 to 120 days.
The heifers will be marketed at 270, 300 kilos. Depending how light they come in, usually they stay those 100, 120 days. And it obviously depends how big and how much they weigh when they come in. But in general, the steers, light steers, will be marketed between 340, 380 kilos.
When Market Journal visited the feedlot in early 2014, we were able to see a fairly new addition to the ProtecoFeedlot. There were several bulls going through the finishing process before being sent to slaughter plants. The bull carcasses are graded on the same scale as the rest of the cattle, and Montaldi says there isn't a difference in the meat quality between the bulls and the steers. Since 1996, the feedlot has finished more than 510,000 head of cattle. Reporting for Market Journal, I'm Curtis Harms.
And this completes our coverage from South America, but if you missed any of our reporting from Brazil or Argentina, including our pieces on the increase in soybean acres and export challenges in both countries, you can find all of our work online at marketjournal.unl.edu/South America.